prevails ultimately, not immediately. We live immediately, die ultimately. It is the life's order. Alive thou shalt prosper, and not when dead. These verses narrate the frivolous and deformed mindset of persons with a dead or impaired conscience. Now, it is your choice. You want to feel happy on the deathbed, or you want to feel sad on the deathbed. Smile before you die. Death is certain. Will you smile when you are about to die, or will you feel sad? That's a $1 million question. So, the very pertinent question is, what would be your emotional state of mind when you are almost done? Is it the end of life, or is it the watershed moment of life? Though to determine an answer to this extremely ticklish question may be difficult, however, when we analyze this in the context of the law of nature, we can derive some inferences which may sound correct to people who are ready to apply their mind without getting affected either by the pre-notions or by the legacy thoughts obstinately embedded in their minds. To put it plainly, in those moments, there could be two states of mind for two respective categories of persons. First would feel sad, second would feel happy. So, why does such a contrasting reaction arise? Let's consider this important question of life. For the first category of persons, on the face of death, they would feel very sad, because for them, destination of life is earth and this hedonistic world and nothing more. It is their world of sensual self-indulgence. So, they live life to enjoy. They don't live life for a purpose. All they know about life is pleasure, and then more pleasure, and then still more pleasure, and so the quest is infinite. And therefore, what they see in life is money, then more money, and thereafter still more money, and the quest goes on and on. Such people hold little or no commitment to the larger morality, because morality means sacrifices, and sacrifices would impede that hedonistic question, that is, the dictum of life is only pleasure. Such hedonistic people follow a contrived reasoning which I have expressed in a verse which I have written in my book, Vultures and Love, while discussing the code of dynamic and safe corruption, that is, Kodask. Truth prevails ultimately, not immediately. We live immediately, die ultimately. It is the life's order. Alive thou shalt prosper, and not when dead. These verses narrate the frivolous and deformed mindset of persons with a dead or impaired conscience. For them, morality starts and ends with unproven legacy rituals and worship in religious places where they seek bounties from God so that they could commit more and more crimes against humanity and earn more and more wealth and then enjoy life. These people live life in a self-defeating scenario. For them, a blind ritual in a religious place or compliance to a religious practice or procedure, that constitutes truth, and therefore the fundamental element of life, morality, is not relevant. Naturally, when that life would be about to go, such a person would feel not just sad, but very, very sad, for no life, no pleasure. Now, we come to the second category of persons. They abide by the law of nature, Truth is the essence of civilization and a harmonious human coexistence, and therefore truth and morality are embedded into the law of nature. These people are much wiser and therefore understand the meaning of life. They reckon life as a journey and earth just as a stopover. In other words, they consider themselves as birds of passage on earth. So they just relish life by being truthful and honest. So when the second category of persons are on the verge of death, they become happy. For them, the strains of journey are getting over and the destination is close by. The days of pain were getting over and the time for reward was nearby. Naturally, such a person ought to feel happy. So, that should explain why the first category of persons feel terribly sad when they are on the deathbed, and why the second category of persons would feel happy when they are on the deathbed. Now, it is your choice. You want to feel happy on the deathbed or you want to feel sad on the deathbed. This takes me to a verse which serves as a beacon to my life when I'm surrounded with immoral people. They live life for this life. I live life for the next life. Before I part, let me delve into a pertinent question contextual to what I have said just now. What is the proof of recommendations on morality? For that, one would have to analyze the principles contained in the law of nature. As per any law, including the law of nature, where there is a violation, there has to be a consequence of a commensurate magnitude. And if the consequence in such commensurate magnitude does not visit an evil soul in this life, then it ought to be stored into a buffer so that the outstanding consequence would impinge on that person some other time at some other place. So remember, you have got an option to choose, but you do not have an option to choose the consequence.